Hi everyone, welcome to another show of this month at the Fall River Career Center. If you're not familiar with the Career Center, we are an employment and training center where we service both job seekers and employers. And on this show, we talk about everything that's going on at the Career Center from a job seeker perspective and also an employer perspective. So we have some great guests today as usual. We have a employer out of Somerset, Massachusetts, who is going to be having a huge recruitment, and we look forward to talking to him. So let me start off by introducing all our guests. First, right here to my right, I have Karen Willis. You've seen her on the show before. She's a business service rep, and she's also a grant service specialist, and she's going to be talking a little bit about a grant that she's working on.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Good morning.
We have Mike Cocroft from Chili's Restaurant out of Somerset, Massachusetts. Mike is the managing partner at Chili's Restaurant in Somerset, Mass. We're going to be having a big recruitment in the Fall River Career Center on June 30th. Mike's going to talk a little bit about that recruitment, also what it takes to be a Chili's employee, and we look forward to hearing from you, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And of course, we have Kim Frank, our business service representative. Kim is busy out in the field. She's recruiting a lot of new employers to come over to the Career Center. Our latest partner over here, Mike with Chili's, she recruited and starting to build a relationship. And Kim's going to talk about our other events that are going on. Thanks for being here, Kim.
Thank you for having me.
All right, great. So I'd like to start off with Mike. Mike, you are the managing partner at Chili's Restaurant. So tell me a little bit about what that role is. What is a managing partner? Where is your role there?
Just making sure that the day-to-day operations are going well, and the guests, we are very guest-focused, making sure that all our guests leave very happy and with great food and great service.
Great. And you've been in a restaurant business, you said, since 14 years old?
Since I was 14, yep, so that's 25 years now, and I love it. It's fast-paced, it keeps me going. I've worked my way up from dishwasher to cook to, I've done it all, service, bar, and I've got with Chili's almost 5 years now. I trained in Somerset, became the kitchen manager, and then worked my way right to general manager and managing partner.
A managing partner, it sounds like an important role. And being a general manager, I'm sure you have a lot of responsibilities. But it started like you started right from being, like you said, in dishwashing. So somebody who's interested in one day maybe being a general manager like yourself, to get your foot in the door and learn a business is really important. And this is the opportunity that you're giving some people coming up on June 30th, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what types of positions you're going to be recruiting for.
We are looking for everything, front of the house, back of the house, what we call heart of the house, because they put out great food. Dishwashers, to-go specialists, hostesses, hosts, servers, line cooks, prep cooks, and QA, which is quality assurance. And it's making sure the food that's going out to our guests is to the right specifications. Great. And just happy people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was on your website, and I saw that on a website it says if you have passion about the restaurant industry, if you're driven, then Chili's might be a place that you want to work, because eventually you can work your way up and maybe be in a management position one day.
There is a lot of growth opportunity within Chili's, not just Somerset, but if you do work your way up and you put your heart and soul into what you do and put out a great product for the guests, there's endless possibilities. There's general manager positions, there's management positions, there's endless possibilities.
Yeah, that's great. And I was talking to you before the show, and one of the things I like about your organization's Chili's is that we're going to talk a little bit about social media today, the do's and don'ts of social media from a job seeker's perspective. But one of the things that you were talking to me about is that you can apply at Chili's the old-fashioned way.
Correct.
You can go in, ask for an application, actually fill out an application, and hopefully receive a call for an interview. So besides applying online, somebody can actually go in to the restaurant and ask for an application and apply that way.
And at that point, you may even speak to a manager that day. There is a 3-interview process that we go through, usually 2 assistant managers, and then the last interview will be with myself. But if you go in and apply and the manager's not too busy, they usually sit down with you that day and go over your references and your previous jobs and so forth.
Yeah, that's excellent. I'm sure Kim and Karen can attest to this. I mean, job seekers have a difficult time getting in front of employers. So the opportunity to go into a Chili's restaurant and get an interview. It doesn't happen too often, right,
No,
Kim?
it's almost unheard of.
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, and of course, we're going to be giving people the opportunity to come into our Career Center on June 30th for a recruitment for Chili's. And what's the time on that, Kim?
Between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m.
So between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. I'll let Kim talk a little bit about that later on in the show. Thanks, Mike. I'll get back around to you.
No problem.
Karen, how's it going?
Going well, Eric.
Good, good. Now, I know you are involved in with a new grant, a very important grant, and something that we're looking forward to working with the community on. It's a disabilities grant.
It is. It's called the Employment Programs for Special Target Populations. And it works specifically with people with disabilities.
Okay. And what types of opportunities will they have? Training opportunities?
Training opportunities, assistance with job search, assistance with resumes, a job coach dedicated specifically to their case.
No, that's okay. Take your time.
There will be actually several partners working together to help these individuals
Okay.
through the whole process.
And if somebody does have a disability, how would they go about making themselves known? Should they just come into the Career Center?
Come into the Career Center, ask for me, Karen Willis, right at the front desk, and we can get their process started. They just need to be 18 years old,
Okay.
have a documented disability, and they should have either a GED or a high school diploma.
Okay, very good. So if they came in, some people, you know, I mean, they don't want to disclose that they have disability or anything else. So should they just ask for you in that case, where they could speak with you and you can help them fill out an application? Is that the process?
Yes, absolutely. This will be kept confidential. The only people that would have any access to the information would be people who are working specifically on the grant.
All right, great. So if anybody knows of somebody with a disability or you do have a disability, going to the Career Center is some great opportunity for some education and also opportunities in employment. Just ask to see Karen Willis. She'll take it from there, and you'll be on your way to either training and employment.
And I just want to
Yep.
add that this project is funded by a grant through the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Office of Labor and Workforce Development, and the grant program is administered by Commonwealth Corporation, working in partnership with the Fall River Career Center.
Great. Thanks, Karen. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Eric.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, Eric.
How's it going?
It's going well.
It's going well.
Busy.
Good, good. I know. I guess so, right? How did you get involved with Chili's? How did this come all about?
It's all pure luck.
You
I had received a call from someone who talked to me about the possibilities of Chili's looking to hire some people. I stopped in one afternoon to meet with Mike and had the pleasure to actually go over a lot of the positions and what they're looking for as far as skilled laborers or people that have no experience at all.
Sure.
So they're willing to train, which we don't see very often in the employer world today, because it is basically an employer's market. They're looking for specific types, but we were very lucky to hook up with Michael and Chili's as well, and that's basically how it went.
Good. So we got into recruitment on June 30th.
Yes.
Should people do anything beforehand? Should they call the Career Center? Should they pre-register?
We are asking people to pre-register because we're expecting it to be rather large.
Sure.
We have quite a few people from pools of former recruitments that we had at the Career Center. Jerry Remy's, for instance, maybe the Cove restaurant. So from those pools of people, we're actually emailing them and contacting them as well to let them know that Chili's is looking to hire people. So if you do have experience in the food industry, no reason to not come down and meet with us, but we do ask that you call the Career Center and pre-register because we're
Okay.
expecting a pretty large group of people.
Sure. And even if you don't have experience, it might
Absolutely.
be an opportunity to get your foot in the door. If you have a good work ethic, if you're driven, if you're passionate about what you do, then Chili's sounds like it's a great place to work because, like Mike says, it does promote growth and maybe one day it could be a general manager
Absolutely.
someday. So Kim, what other employers are you working with? Any other recruitments going on?
Well, we do have a large recruitment on Monday, June 23rd in Attleboro. We are recruiting People Incorporated from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. They're looking for CNAs, job coaches, residential counselors, and so many more positions. So if you do have a vehicle and you're able to get out to Attleboro, I would highly encourage people to step into the Attleboro Career Center between 9 and 1 and meet with the people from People Incorporated.
Yeah, they got some great opportunities there. I
certainly
know
do.
you set up a recruitment for them in Taunton a
Yes.
couple weeks ago. We had a great turnout, but they get some great opportunity for growth there as well.
Absolutely.
So I definitely encourage people to go to the Attleboro Career Center.
And it's also a chance, Eric, to sit down and meet with the employer face to face. And if they do not have a position that you may be qualified for, they may know of another position that's coming or may even have an opening for a different position. So, if you are in the job market and you're looking to come down, why not sit down and speak with an employer face to face? Because you don't get that very
No,
often.
you
You're not
don't.
able to, to actually meet with an employer.
And it's an opportunity to network
Absolutely.
with people within your industry. So,
Absolutely.
no question.
Absolutely.
All right, great. Any other events
We
going
do
on?
have something in the works right now. Unfortunately, I do not have a date or time. We will be recruiting for the Xfinity, formerly known as the Comcast Center in Mansfield. They'll be looking to fill several positions. They're looking for parking lot attendants, food vendors, security. So we'll have more details on that as they're given to me.
Xfinity, that's at the old Great Woods?
The old Great Woods,
Oh,
Tweeter
yeah.
Center,
Had some great memories
Comcast,
there,
now
right?
Xfinity.
Yeah,
Yes.
Xfinity
Yes.
Center. That's great. So
Yes.
they have a good possibility they might be at the Taunton Career Center.
Absolutely. They will be coming
Yeah.
to the Taunton Career
Okay,
Center.
good,
Yes.
good. Very
yes.
good.
Yep.
All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about social media today, and I'm going to throw this back to you, Kim.
Okay.
Social media, I mean, it's such a powerful tool that people use. Can job seekers use social media for their advantage?
Absolutely, if it's used correctly, absolutely. Many people don't realize that the social media can actually hurt them. So if you've got a Facebook account and you're not using it professionally, or if you're not using it with some kind of restrictions, if you're on Facebook with pictures of yourself with God knows what paraphernalia or beverages or foul language or maybe talking negatively about a former employer
Stop stalking my Facebook account.
I'm sorry, Eric. Without using your name, I had to just bring that up. But in all seriousness, if you've got a social media page that may have some information on it that's not, specifically set up for employers to look at, I would either recommend that you delete it and or clean it up, because that's the first place most employers look.
It's true. It is a powerful tool, and power can be used in good and bad ways.
Absolutely.
And I know that I read a recent study that said that 80% of employers will search somebody's Facebook page during the hiring process.
Absolutely.
And out of that 80%, 75% have not hired somebody because of something disparaging on their Facebook page.
Absolutely.
Mike, I know Chili's chooses not to go on Facebook at all. They say, you know what, that's private, that's for the person's own life, that has nothing to do with what their work is going to be, so we don't choose to judge people based on what their Facebook page is.
Correct. And the reason so is because we have team members who are on Facebook, and they may do things that are against our policies or procedures, but that's not for us to go on there and stalk their Facebook page and
Right.
single them out.
Sure.
A lot of people choose to keep it private to certain friends. A lot of people are open to the world with their Facebook pages or Twitter pages. We don't go on there. And a reason being is, as management, we don't want to be either friends with these team members or just be involved as far as an outside connection.
Right. I mean, it's still, social media is still relatively new, so I think people are still trying to work the kinks out. I mean, you're right. I mean, it's for an employer or an HR representative or a manager to be friends with their employees.
Correct.
That could open up some doors that maybe we don't want to enter,
Correct.
right? So it's a good practice. I commend it that Chili's doesn't do that. But at the same time, I still recommend people that, if you're on social media, especially Facebook, that, people are out there watching and monitoring. And
Kids.
you might think it's innocent, but unfortunately, you're not always the final judge. And when you're seeking employment, you want to be as careful as possible. I would turn it the other way and make it a positive. Show that you're interested in your industry. Maybe connect, or maybe set up a Facebook business page. with your profession and, show some interest in your industry. And maybe if an employer is searching it, say, wow, this person's really vested in their industry. So instead of it being a negative, it turns into
Positive.
a positive. So you were going to say something else on the...
Well, just with Facebook, I mean, you can search up anyone's name and say it's John Smith. If a little kid is searching John Smith on Facebook, he may see 5 John Smiths, and then, as she said, the pictures and things that they post on Facebook, kids can see this. It's
Absolutely.
not. It's
Right.
not.
It's also a place for, I think, the most employers to see the real you. And if you want the employers to see the real you and you're serious about looking for work, it's definitely the time to clean up Facebook.
Right.
As well as the email addresses. I mean, there are so many times I receive resumes and the email addresses, and a lot of people don't think along those lines. The email address sometimes are very inappropriate. You want at all times a very professional email address,
Absolutely.
as well as the ring back when you call someone's cell phone and you get the message, please listen to the music while your party is being reached. If you've got Dr. Dre playing in the background, not that I have anything against any type of music, but you really need to get rid of that and leave a professional voicemail so
Right.
that the employers calling you will know that you're taking this seriously.
I agree with that. That's a great point that you brought up. And I want to go back to your first point where you said that, employers might go on there to look into your personality. There's actually something I wrote down here, and it was from Job Seeking with Social Media for Dummies. That's the type of stuff that I read at night. But it says that 50% of hiring managers can determine whether a particular candidate's personality is a good fit for their company just by seeing that person's social media presence. So they don't even know who you are. They're just looking at your Facebook
They're
pages
looking
and
you
your
up.
posts, and they already can tell if you fit within their company.
Absolutely.
So that's a great
Even
point.
Googling. I mean, take some time. Get on Google yourself.
Yeah,
Google your
absolutely.
name. See what comes up. Make sure that everything on the internet, I mean, obviously sometimes we have no control as to what the internet is about. However, there are ways to clean up information about yourself.
Sure.
So get on the internet, research yourself, type in your name, see what comes up. But if you have a Facebook or Twitter account that may not be the most professional, delete it,
Be careful.
work on it. Be very careful, because most employers, and I have to highlight the word most, that's the first place they look.
That's where they go. I know, Karen, that you're on LinkedIn,
Yes.
and we set up a a group discussion for Bristol County employers. So talk a little bit about LinkedIn, because I think LinkedIn is probably obviously a safer place to be than Facebook in terms of career development. But I think LinkedIn can be extremely powerful as well.
It can be a very powerful tool for looking for jobs. In addition to having a job search engine themselves, many companies that are on LinkedIn will do a reverse search. Just as a job seeker goes on, types in what type of job they're looking for, what area they're looking for them, employers will do the same and come up with job seekers.
Absolutely.
What you have on your LinkedIn account is usually your first professional image. And the first image is everything.
Absolutely. And all these, such a new wave of how to apply for jobs. It's not the old-fashioned way anymore, even though Chili's is still offering that, and such a great opportunity for people just to walk right in and get an interview. But we do have workshops at the Career Centers for job searching with social media, creating an online presence, a LinkedIn. I know even Forever's setting up a new LinkedIn workshop with Norma Santos. So this is not something that you're out on an island all by yourself. You can come into the Career Center, take advantage of one of these workshops, and learn how you can turn it into a positive and not so much a negative, because it can be a way to find employment. And it is extremely important that you do have an online presence.
Absolutely.
Because it's not about who you know anymore. It's about who knows you, and there's actually recruiters out there, searching profiles and making calls. So it is important to have strong profiles out there, consistent profiles. Everything should look similar. So if you're filling out an application and you put in your employment history, make sure that lines up with your resume. Make sure it lines up with your LinkedIn profile. And I don't say that somebody's doing it intentionally, but sometimes you're just putting dates out there because it's tough to remember. So it's like Kim said, it is important to go and just do like a Google search. Make sure everything out there is consistent.
Absolutely. And if I could interrupt, a lot of people today, shockingly, don't have email addresses. We've come across that quite often in the Fall River and Taunton office, where I've asked job seekers whether or not they have an email address, and believe it or not, many people have said no. You know, if you don't have an email address, stop into the Fall River Career Center, any of the career centers, Taunton, Attleboro, Fall River, and ask for some assistance, and we gladly sit down with you and set up an email account, because today, because of the way the world is so busy, most employers communicate through email.
Right.
You know, it's not the old-fashioned, I'll give you a call kind of situation. You need an email address. That's how they're communicating today.
It's a good point, and to the point you made before about cleaning up your email address and your
Absolutely.
voicemail. Mike, I mean, I'm not saying, employers look at that specifically, but, a good professional image can't hurt, right? I mean, if somebody on their voicemail is clear, articulate, sounds professional, I'm sure that goes further than somebody who just, like Kim says, has, well, Dr. Dre, that would help if I was hiring. That would be a good thing. But it does go a long way if you have, you're clear and you're
Yes.
concise
Yes.
And you're professional.
and you're professional.
Professional.
Yeah, and I remember I called somebody the other day, and it was like, you know what to do. And that was it,
Yeah.
And so, and that was somebody that, we were looking
Looking
to.
for work.
Yeah, so you got to make sure that you clean that up.
The
So-
other thing, Eric, if I could interrupt again,
Sure, no,
that I want to mention, that we have several companies that are Corey friendly.
Okay.
And Chili's happens to be one of them. And it's my belief that people do deserve a second chance. So if you have a Corey background and you have background issues as far as, criminally, it's very important for people to realize that Chili's is one of those employers that, doesn't do a background check.
Yeah, that's great because, like you said, I'm a big believer in a second chance, a third
Absolutely.
chance even. You never
Absolutely.
know when somebody is ready to be productive.
That's right.
And somebody can, something they can do great.
Absolutely.
And giving them an opportunity like work sometimes is the launching point.
That's right,
To
to turn their
greater
life
things.
around.
So
That's right.
that is, I like what I'm hearing from Chili's. It is a lot of the old-fashioned way. It is like, we're going to, we want to see you, we want to see an application. We're going to interview you right on the spot. We're not just going to look at the resume, or we're just not going to look at an application online. We actually want to see the person.
That's right.
There are 2 background checks that we will do, but it's for different positions. Management being one, and the other would be delivery driver, but it would be a background check on your license. It wouldn't be something of your criminal record.
Of course, and I mean, obviously, you need a good driving record if you're going to be a
Correct.
delivery driver. That is crucial.
How
that
about drug testing? Do you do drug testing?
No, we do not.
No drug testing as well.
Right, that's good to know. So, this wraps up another episode of This Month at the Fall River Career Center. Remember that we're located in Fall River on 446 North Main Street. We are on 95 Pine Street in Attleboro and on 72 School Street in Taunton. And you can come into any of those career centers. They're walk-in centers, so if you're looking for services that day, come in, let them know what you want, and we'll try to help you get what you need. And also, you could probably run into an employer always trying to have recruitments, every day, or there may be a workshop. So you don't need an appointment to come in, just come in right off the street, and we'll be happy to help you. So we look forward to seeing you next month on This Month at the Fall River Career Center. I'd like to thank FRC TV, our guests, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.